Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another stream on this gloomy day. I figured I would stream some more. I believe this is episode 4 of Scarlet Hollow. Yep, episode 4 awaits. And I think we can continue. Let's do a recap. It's been a little bit. Ooh, a full recap or just episode 3? Let's do episode 3. I remember it was a weird one. There are 2 of them now. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the 2 of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Zen, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for those poor kids. I can't imagine how scared they must be. Oh yeah, the kids in the mine. Mornin', is the new blend ready? Of course. Zen, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will just be a minute. And they weren't just a minute, they were forever. Oh, excuse me. Wait, you're Zen, aren't you? My name is Beau. I'm Duke's boy. It's a pleasure to meet you. The policeman told me you saw what happened to my daddy. I did. I told you the truth. And this is the spot. It's a public garden I've been putting together. It was just an empty lot when I first moved here, but Winnie said it was okay for me to mess with it. So when I'm stuck in a rut with work or music, I come here and dig around in the dirt, just organizing the chaos for a little while. But I don't think we came here to talk about my side projects. I've been hearing some absolutely wild stuff about last night. I don't know how much you overheard in the diner, but it seems like the miners are planning a strike. Oh yeah, because of all that activity. The mayor's a dog, I forgot. Not only is this mayor a dog, but judging from the series of portraits lining the walls, every mayor of Scarlet Hollow has also been a dog. You can tell this dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. There's a regal air about him, almost as if he knows the position of authority he's been elected to. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're intercepted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. It's hard to put a finger on it, but something compels you to dislike this man. Oh yeah, this is Janie's husband, the preacher. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? Pastor. I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Zen? Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd ever like to discuss your beliefs, my door is always open. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mom is so scary. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourself comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week while Zen is in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in this basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm adult, for God's sakes. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix. Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Oh yeah, there's a question of, like, is the mom keep making Reese sick, or does he actually have an illness that's not very curable? Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner was okay. Hey, I hope I'm not late. Have I missed any creepy paranormal stuff? Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch. The floor around it is stained in reddish brown. I'm going for it. Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Before you have the chance to think, another door creaks open on what you thought was the ceiling. There you are. This is quite the maze, isn't it? And absolutely crawling with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders. The sins of the father, and to be laid upon the children, forfeit your years and I will finally leave. A smell hits you, that now familiar wet, unwell odor. What an annoying pest you are, but you couldn't keep me out for long. It seems we've exhausted its power. Holding all these bodies hostage must have been quite taxing. Come along, Zen. It's desperate, but it has no power over you. There's no need to bow to the will of such a frayed and broken consciousness. Leave it to fester. But yeah, there's a deal we were going to make with it, where it was like, if we shorten our lives, but we don't know how much of our lives it was willing to take, it would leave the town alone. You fall towards the entrance, your legs still unsure with the ground beneath you, and the doors fly open. You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library. You made the right choice. It would have been so easy to fall for its tricks. I'm proud that you didn't. Be seeing you. I'm so sorry, Zen. I don't think I can talk right now. I'll call you, okay? She's very tearful. I'm looking forward to continuing our chat tomorrow once you've had some time to rest. And that's where it ended. Me going to bed. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. now commands the entirety of City Hall, a swirling void of wrath and despair that the people of this town will have to learn to ignore. Disaster looms its tallest yet over Scarlet Hollow. I'll wake up. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seemed so far away. You can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. But you know that the furious spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. yet lingers, locked behind the doors of the town hall, still tied to the earth by its hatred of you and your bloodline. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine, but your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hope you made it home okay. Haven't heard from Stella since last night. How about you? You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Let's say she was not good. Everyone had a rough night. She's probably still shaken up. Yeah, but I don't love that she's out there somewhere by herself, considering all the shit that's been going down. We should look for her, right? Come to town. We should stick together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Let's visit the possum. There's two of them. The two possums stare up at you. They both have a bread now. That's nice. Let me wave. You wave at them. They continue to stare up at you blankly in response. At least they're not pretending to fall asleep on me. You close the drawers. This is their home now, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Check the closet for the doll. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. And judging by the residue that was left behind, you're pretty sure you know the culprit. That means he was in your room. But was he here while you were out the previous day, or did he enter while you slept unawares just a few feet away? Let's take a shower. It feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of the day. In the meantime, I do have to visit that door in the clinic. I'll be going back there today. Oscar and Rosalina. Think about the afterlife. Think about Stella. The 2 girls buried in the mine, or Duke. Think about Sybil's warning. Wayne. Think about someone special. Ooh. Let's do the door in the clinic. I wonder if that changes like what my focus for the day will be. Let's face Tabitha. She's not here, but it looks like she left a note on the counter. Had to run. The librarian needed a new house, so I'm giving him the keys to the Maxwell place. And the miners decided to stage a strike today, of all days, so I won't be around. I know there's no point asking you not to do anything reckless, but I'm asking anyway. Be back late. Call if you get into trouble. Tabitha. Time to figure out the rest of your day. I gotta eat. Head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. Glimpses of pale figures dot your periphery. Oh, here's one. Here's another, and here. You haven't seen ditchlings in the middle of the day before. They're getting bolder. To your surprise, you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you're able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. I was up most of the night totally wired on adrenaline. Even if I'd been able to chill out a bit, knowing that thing was right down the street. Yeah, not super conducive to a good night's sleep. Does the library look different? Like, can you see the haunting from outside? It's boarded up, but I can't say I've gotten close enough to see much of anything yet. We could always check it out together, though maybe we'd better not tempt it. The ghost seemed pretty desperate to eat your soul last night, and I don't even know if I mean that metaphorically or literally. Hopefully some slapdash plywood is all it takes to contain that thing. I don't like the thought of it spilling out onto Main Street if it smells like a drop of scarlet blood nearby. Tabitha to deal with it. If any Scarlet owes that ghost something, it's her. No way was I trusting a ghost to uphold its end of the bargain. I like that one. No way was I trusting a ghost to uphold its end of the bargain. Smart move. If that thing was holding onto a grudge so hard that it managed to stick around for 80 years, there's a good chance it would never be satisfied, no matter how much it took from the Scarlets. Might as well hold on to the one life you have instead of hoping it'd be enough to satisfy some revenge-starved old guy. How do you feel now that it's a new day? Possession is the sort of thing that can leave a mark on a person's soul. Oh, thanks for asking about the state of my soul. I appreciate that. I'd be lying if I said it didn't have an impact. I kind of feel bruised all over, physically and spiritually. But hey, that's part of life, right? Nobody makes it to the end completely unscathed. And I'm kind of thrilled that my new emotional baggage comes from a ghost instead of some boring normal trauma. These ditchlings are everywhere now, even though it's daytime. Avery returns to survey the tree line. I noticed a few on my way up. They're kind of funny, now that I'm getting a good look at them, with their scrunched up little Shar-Pei faces. So, should I be worried about these things? I know they're a bad omen or something, but, like, are they dangerous? They're not going to eat me if I take the wrong turn, right? Let's do mystical. You need to only fear what they foretell. Okay, cool. And ominous. As long as being eaten alive isn't on the table. Unless they're foretelling a zombie invasion or something with werewolves, in which case I guess I'm still stuck with being eaten alive. Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you haven't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. Seems like those walls are finally starting to crack. I hope she's okay. Kanika and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Want to come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I don't know how much time, though. From what I saw this morning, the diner is hopping. It's absolutely packed with miners. They must be using it as home base for their strike. Let's head to town. Yeah, good idea. You and Avery start back down the path. It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Zen, you made it, and you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally. Yeah, I'm not too bad. That's good. I feel like I got crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack, totally exhausted, and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold and I wasn't buying it, but as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had, but I'm not going to let that stop me from looking for Stella. I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. After last night, I wouldn't doubt that she actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of that Glinda vibe going for her. Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of her whole new age mystic thing. A lot's happened in the past couple days. Ugh, I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to be focused. I can't keep having all these existential crises. There'll be plenty of time for tea after we found Stella. I think last night just pushed Stella over the edge. I know I've only known her for a couple days, but it feels like she has a tendency to run from difficult emotions. Usually she just changes the subject, but I guess this time she wound up literally running. You're absolutely right, and as her friends, we can't let her be alone at a time like this. I've made that mistake before. Plus, she could get mobbed by those weird little creatures, or worse. Exactly. This is no time for anyone to be off on their own. Who knows what kind of weird stuff is out there. After the past couple nights, I wouldn't be surprised if there are actually Bigfoots in the woods just waiting to eat any human who wanders too far from civilization. Do Bigfoots thirst on human flesh? Is that some kind of common knowledge I wasn't keyed on? I wouldn't be surprised is all I'm saying. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where's 2 first? Have you gone to Stella's house yet? I don't think she's in the diner, or the mines, or the church. Let's go to Stella's house. Good place to start. Maybe she just slept in. That's what I'm hoping. I would have gone already, but I was kind of nervous about doing anything by myself today, just in case I ran into yet another horror from behind the veil or whatever. You make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. The interior is cold, and not just physically. There is an absence of joy in life that leaves only a chill behind. This is the ghost of an empty house. There's a sobering dread that comes with the knowledge that your search won't end here. I don't sense anything supernatural here, but I don't like the look of this. Might as well invite ourselves in, right? Yeah, we should go in. Cool. I'll be brave and go first. Avery casually steps over the threshold into Stella's house. Aside from a corner of the room dedicated to Gretchen, Stella's house almost feels like a museum. Everything's organized with a sort of tidiness you wouldn't expect from someone as rough and tumble as Stella, and only a handful of objects feel like they belong to her. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. Doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything, unless it happened in another room where maybe someone or something caught her off guard. You didn't have to add that last part. I'm going to forget that you said that and just be thankful that this doesn't look like a crime scene. Investigate Stella's room. You make your way down the hall to what you assume is Stella's bedroom. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. You do notice, though, that her jacket is nowhere in sight. It isn't in her closet, and it wasn't on the coat rack in the other room. Stella's jacket is gone. The Letterman one. It wasn't on the rack in the other room, and it's not in here, and she didn't have it yesterday. Okay, so she definitely came home last night. There's always a chance she left it somewhere else and we just missed it, but yeah, she probably came home last night. Assuming she was here, where did she go and why did she leave? I want to know why we haven't been able to reach her. I'll check her computer. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy? We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some sort of clue on there, like a note detailing exactly where she is. We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. Look, I know it's an invasion of privacy, but we've got to do whatever we can to find her. Sure, snoop away, but I'm not going to take any part of this. I'll just be over here, staying in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There are simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display. Whoa, how do we find anything on here? You don't. Come on, let's go. Ooh, check her open tabs. It would take you all day to count the number of open tabs in Stella's browser. So numerous are her tabs that you can't see a single icon. A sea of rounded featureless triangles from the window's edge to the window's edge. Her most recently opened tab is a post on Uncle Carl's Bigfoot Farm, a forum for cryptozoology enthusiasts. But the post in question is titled, "Something Big is Happening in Scarlet Hollow." Hey everyone. Was out chasing a skunk ape sighting the other day and I found these weird little guys. My friend's mom says there's something called ditchlings, but I've never heard of them before. Anyone have any good leads? Camera isn't shaky enough. This is totally staged. Clean footage and some sort of cryptid nobody has heard of except your friend's mom. The only thing I'm seeing when I Google ditchlings is some city in England. Thought you were legit. Guys, since when did high quality footage count as anything other than actual evidence? Those things are terrifying. Since every low budget horror movie started doing guerrilla marketing, I smell an ARG. I'm serious, I've got a ton of extra footage. Look at what they've been doing to the animals in town. They're apparently some sort of bad omen, like Mothman. Okay, I'm listening. I love me a Mothman. The name is Moth Stan. I'm dead. I believe you. Ugh, lucky you're falling right into her lap. I don't trust YouTubers. They're entertainers, not scientists. The thread continues into the next day. Hey, okay, so 1, this isn't an ARG, I would never. And 2, you're not going to believe this, but we just went to the abandoned mine last night to investigate things, and I'm pretty sure we found some Tommyknockers. Listen to this knocking we managed to catch on tape. There's a link to an audio file titled Tommyknockers Real. Just because you put the word real in your file name doesn't mean they're real. 2 supernatural events on a back-to-back nights? This is so fake. I can't believe I bought into that River Runner hype. You're so full of it. YouTubers are always going to sell out to big indie horror. This is kidnapped by aliens all over again. Also, LOL, doughy white things and now loud popping noises? This is definitely an ARG. Did you sell out to Pillsbury? Stop cyberbullying her or I'm going to call the mods. Locking this thread and giving everyone a 7-day ban. No cyberbullying and no self-promo. The thread ends. Wow, poor Stella. Remind me to never be internet famous. Here's hoping my SoundCloud stays niche and underappreciated until the day I die. Let me see her search history. She hasn't visited any websites since Tuesday night. As she came home after last night's incident, she didn't touch her browser. Her search history is almost entirely work-related, a furious series of queries for various monsters and cryptids that might fit the profile of ditchlings. That's that. Okay, I think I've seen enough. Thank God. I don't think there's anything in her room. I don't think there's any other clues in here. I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. It could use a few more houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her. Aw, she still does those corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. Let's look at the kitchen. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. The crust of the bread has gone somewhat stale, but as much as you'd expect after being left out overnight. Whoever left it there left many hours ago. It's a little messy, but it doesn't look like anything violent happened here. It's possible she came home, grabbed some food, and left in a hurry, right? Did she have somewhere she needed to be? She didn't say she had something she had to rush off to. Maybe she just had a panic attack after being possessed, but that was over 12 hours ago. I hope she would be home by now if that was the case. Is Stella the sort of person to stop back home to make a snack in the middle of a mental health crisis? Yes. And it's comforting to think that might all happened. A panic attack is much more manageable than rotting ghouls or parasitic doughboys. You turn to leave Stella's house. Okay, so she probably came home last night, but she's not here now, and we don't have any idea where she might have gone. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hope she would just be sleeping in. I can't believe she's actually missing. We'll find her. Where to next? I don't want to see the cops. The church? That's kind of random. Let's check in with Oscar and Rosalina. They should be at the old Maxwell place. Tabitha dropped off the key this morning. The old Maxwell place? So Tabitha put them up in a broken down ruin that should have been bulldozed years ago? I guess. It's good they have a roof over their heads, or what's left of a roof. Your cousin's gonna get an earful next time I see her. Kanika storms off down the road, and you and Avery follow close behind. You don't get far before the sound of growling and desperate hisses grab your attention. You turn to see a ditchling approach a cornered pixel in an alley. He must have slipped out of the library with everyone else last night. The ditchling, distracted from its hunt and your arrival, cranes its neck to face you, its eyes settling on you with alien indifference. In the distance, you hear the furious patter of many feet approaching. You won't be alone for long. Hey, quit it. The words feel meek as they leave your mouth, and the ditchling, unaffected, turns back to its cornered prey. Is there a pipe or something lying around? Maybe you can scare it off. There's no time. I'm grabbing Pixel. So many dogs! Before you can react, a small pack of dogs around the corner. Oh my god. Jeez. Before you can... Oh, I already read that. They pounce on the creature, pulling it from the wall, and then taking turns biting and tearing at it until it's ripped to shreds. Oh, look at this one. He's so proud. They're all so... This one's a little suspicious of me, but they're all proud. What the... It's Daisy. And Scraps, too. The dogs that ran against Mayor Jimmy in the last election. And every other dog in town, all together in some kind of ditchling hunting dog gang. Pixel timidly steps towards you. Pixel, you got out of the library. Oh, you poor cat. Come here. Aww. Pixel cautiously walks toward your group before clambering into your arms. He has a comfortable heft to him. He's looking back at me. That's cute. I guess he likes you more than me. Thanks for keeping him safe, dogs. The pack of dogs scampers off, their work done. What the hell is going on in this town? Dog politics. That's hilarious. Pixel in tow, you and your companions continue on to the old Maxwell place. The old Maxwell place. It was clearly once a mid-century modern home and undoubtedly quite stylish for the time, but it's been abandoned for unknown decades, and moss and vines choke its exterior, barely concealing cracked walls and dust-clouded glass. Before you can approach, the door opens and Oscar's head pokes out from the entryway. Hello? Oh, Sorry if I startled y'all. The walls here are worn down enough I could hear you coming from a block away. Good morning, Oscar. Just thought we'd stop by to check in. Thank goodness you found Pixel. Rosalina's been beside herself. Oscar's voice is tired. He's had a long night and it shows, his graying face seemingly having aged in the hours since you last saw him. Please come in. Pixel, he's okay. Rosalina rushes forward, taking Pixel from your arms and hugging him close to her chest. How are y'all holding up? I'm doing all right. Rosalina is... I'm fine. Things could be worse. You can tell she doesn't believe that. She's angry, and that anger is directed at you. It really isn't as run down as it looks, and it's got all kinds of weird little features, like an intercom and a jacuzzi. Of course, none of them are really usable with the state of the place. We've turned on the water and the pipes still work at the very least. Though I won't be drinking out of them until I've tested what comes out. Have you seen Stella last night? She went missing after the ghost hunt. We can't get a hold of her. She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? So I'm guessing that's a no? You'd be right. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I should have done a better job warning her. Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were going to be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it. I don't even think she knew how she'd react. And besides, you didn't know how bad it was going to get. You can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes it's just not going to be possible. You're only one guy. You're right. Now I'm really starting to worry. It sounds like no one in town has seen her. That doesn't mean something bad happened. But it doesn't exactly sound like it's all sunshine and roses for her either. Sorry that I can't be more helpful. Hi, thank you so much for joining. What's going to happen to your career now that the library is closed? Rosalina's eyes burn a hole into your head. That's a good question. I was up all night wondering the same thing. If things stay the way they are right now, it's essentially like the library burned down. The books are inaccessible. The building is unsalvageable. I don't even know what I would put on the insurance forms or how I would explain this to the library board. So for the time being, I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to do everything in my power to get it back before anyone has to know it ever closed. I don't think they'll appreciate going on a rescue mission. I'll apologize. Sorry about the house, but I wasn't about to trust a ghost bargain. As well, you shouldn't. There's no guarantee he was actually going to leave. It was asking for so much. I don't know if I could have lived with myself knowing you'd given up so much just so we could stay in the house. Yeah, sure, you couldn't trust the ghost. If that's what you have to tell yourself so you don't have to face the fact that you ran away last night, then fine. But you're kind of a coward. You were a coward down in the mines, and you were a coward in the basement. Rosalina. I'm gonna let her vent. I don't even have clean clothes to change into because all my clothes are stuck inside the ghost maze. Rosalina, I know you're upset, but taking it out on a near stranger is no way to deal with your emotions. And as far as I'm concerned, Zena's the only reason you aren't still down in those mines, so I'm personally quite grateful for what she has done for our family. Besides, it's not like we'll have to stay here for long. One way or another, we'll get our house back. There's no need for anyone to take on any permanent, life-changing burdens on our behalf. I don't care what it takes. I'm not letting that creature get the last laugh. Sure, that went so great the first time. I've had it with the big talk. I'm going to my room. Let me know if you actually managed to accomplish anything or if we'll have to move to some tent in the woods next. Rosalina storms off. As she leaves, Oscar's shoulders seem to unclench, a tension leaving him as he sighs dejectedly. Let's go outside and give her some space. I have to make things right. I'm not letting external forces shape my life anymore. It's time to face this thing head on, no more running away and pretending nothing is wrong for Rosalina. I've been thinking, as far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal going on in Scarlet Hollow before very recently. Now here we are, suddenly surrounded by weird little goblin creatures in the woods while entire buildings are taken over by supernatural creatures. You think there was an inciting event, right? I do. Give me 1 second. Avery stares at you. I mean, it's obvious, right? This things only started happening when Zen got here. Kanika shoots Avery a glare. No, we are not throwing Zen under the bus. What? There's nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst. Sure. There's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with seeing someone as a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple steps away from the whole town deciding to shot her. Nobody's going to drag Zen into a witch hunt on my watch. I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out of town on rails. I'd rather play it safe. Don't worry, it's not like I'm going to run around telling everyone that Zen magicked a bunch of terrible disasters into existence. But if there's a catalyst for all of this, why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Zen getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Pearl Ann died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time she arrived. Not to mention, I started seeing things in our house before Pearl Ann passed. I think I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. Whatever the cause of this is, there must be some way to put this genie back in a bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have ever been any similar events and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. The town archives are, unfortunately, in the library. Rosalina had been pestering me to make some sort of digital backup for months, but I never got around to it, so online sources it is. We'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have some place to start. We've been finding these weird stone seals. There was one in the mines and another in your basement. There might be more. These are those carvings you mentioned last night, right? To think there was something like that under my house all this time and to think someone might have just put it there? But who? This gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Zen. Zen, didn't you say you felt something similar in the mine seal to the mine seal outside of the clinic yesterday? I hope that doesn't mean something weird is about to happen there too. Uh-oh. Losing the library is already a blow, but losing the only doctor's office in town seems like it would be bad. Here's hoping we sort things out before that becomes an issue. I think Sybil knows more than she's letting on. She wants me to come talk to her today. My mom? But she's always been such a crystals and herbs kind of lady, not like someone who actually knows stuff about supernatural. She's always had a strange air about her, hasn't she? I'd be interested to know what exactly she intends to discuss with you, Zen. I have a feeling she has more than tea to offer. Make sure Pixel stays inside or he might get grabbed by ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces? Yeah, the anguished doughboys. I kind of like them. It's like a hidden object game out there today with all the weird little faces peering out of the bushes. Like them? Are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife? I don't want to get friendly with them or anything. I just think they're kind of interesting. To each their own. I think some dogs kept him safe, like a gang of dogs. I know it sounds ridiculous, but we saw it with our own eyes. A gang of dogs? I suppose stranger things have happened. That's this very week, in fact, but we'll make sure he stays safe. I think there's something in the clinic. There was a door there yesterday, and I could feel something pulling me towards it. I see. I'll dig up what I can on the clinic. There's a lot of history there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something haunting that place as well. You have a friend that lives there, right? Should we tell him that something bad might happen in the house? You might want to stay someplace else for now if the last few nights are any indication. Yeah, I can shoot Reese a warning text, but I don't know if his mom will let him leave. She's got an iron grip on the poor dude, and she's probably even more of a skeptic than I am, or was. One way or another, I'm gonna find myself back there soon enough. It's faint, but I can still feel the pull of that clinic door, and it's only getting stronger. You're not planning on breaking in, are you? Because if so, nope, you're not gonna do that. Let's not have a repeat of last night. We should be more cautious about what we do next. We don't want anyone getting attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if I have time to play safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? Whatever we're doing next, I feel like we're missing a vital team member. We need to find Stella, and fast. I agree, we need her brazen energy if we're going to do any serious sleuthing. See you around, Oscar. Let us know what you find. I will. We're going to get the library back, and we're going to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with this town. So, that's Oscar. Any other ideas? I don't want to go to the cops. We haven't gone to the church yet. We should check out the church. The church? Why? I see what you're thinking. Stella was confronted with evidence of the afterlife, so she might try getting into all that religious stuff. It's worth checking out. I think we'd be barking up the wrong tree, but I guess you're right. There's no point in not being thorough. I wouldn't mind stocking up on some holy water while we're there, too. Seems like a good idea to cover all of our bases at this point. I don't think Baptists do the holy water thing, but I'm sure Pastor Daniel would pretend to bless some water if it meant keeping us around a little longer. That's good enough for me. Let's not linger, though. I don't want him thinking we're possible converts. Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. You know, I've lived here for a few years now. I've never actually been to the church. That's probably for a good reason. Where is that weirdo? He just appears out of nowhere. That's creepy. My, 4 visitors at once on a Thursday? This is unprecedented. But there are only 3 of us. Oh no, we were followed by a ditchling? We were followed by Wayne? Sup, old people? Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpse of death I've had in the past 2 days have forced me into the midst of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if faith held any answers for me. Alas, I've not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart, but when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Anyway, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. We're starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie had seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. There she is, back there. Though Zen, I was hoping we might be able to talk in private. What do you have to say to her that you can't say in front of us? Please, if you wouldn't mind, this is a personal matter. It's alright. We can get the juicy details later. I'd rather folks not pry on this. You know how rumors get started. It's okay. I'm happy to talk to him. If you're sure. I guess we'll leave you with it while we check in with Janie. We'll be right over there by the fence that's conveniently in your line of sight, okay? See you in a minute. Your friends head off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. I'm so glad you decided to come up to visit me. So many young people these days seem to think they can solve all their problems on their own. Meanwhile, God is right there ready to help him. If only they'd let him into their hearts. The pastor's eyes dart back towards the alpacas. Okay, good, they're gone. You're new in town. What kind of impression did I make on you? Am I creepy? He just wanted an opinion. Whenever I see you, it's like an ominous little piano starts playing. That's funny, like the soundtrack right now. I think your problem is that you keep telling people what to do instead of actually treating them like human beings. They'll say the piano thing. You're talking about a metaphorical piano, right? Because I can't say I've ever heard one following me around. It wasn't always like this, you know. Believe it or not, before I moved to Scarlet Hollow, I used to be pretty popular. I was one of the cool kids over at Harvard Divinity School. He's interrupted by the sound of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. A child? Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good, or are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed and you can give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into those woods a lot lately, and it's really dangerous, even for adults. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like it's part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Tulip made up some imaginary friends and keeps telling us that they want her to go out there, like the word of some fictional creature she made up is going to convince us it's a good idea for her to play in somebody's old garbage. But she's 7, and of course she would get some funny little idea like that. I'd love to get the community to rally around a big cleanup. It's about time somebody got rid of all that junk. Oh yeah, Tetanus Lake. Stella told me about it. Tetanus Lake? That's an accurate name. I wonder if Tulip would stay away if I started calling it that, or if it would only make it sound more alluring. What were you saying? What's that you were saying about imaginary friends? Oh, she'd just been talking about these friends of hers lately. Little stories about creatures that live in the church. Oh no. I'm sure she saw some animal in there and decided it was her friend. It's nothing to be overly concerned about, except the trash heap situation. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kanika and Avery walking back to the two of you. They must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Thanks for suggesting we head up here, Zen. We got to feed the alpacas. They were so cute and soft. It was awesome. And Janie says she'll come by the diner with cookies for the miners, and a few extra for me, of course. Hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let y'all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayers with the big man for her. Alright, thanks. See ya. Kanika and Avery start back down the path to town, and you follow. So, what was that about? He seemed pretty insistent on talking to you alone. Yeah, he didn't say anything weird, did he? He wanted to know why in the town thinks he's creepy. He is creepy. It's kind of sad, isn't it? I don't think he has a lot of friends. People do weird things all the time to try and fit in. Point taken, but that doesn't mean he isn't creepy. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? Let's go to the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me into clocking in early. The diner is busier than you've ever seen it. The small booths packed with miners. What's going on? There's a strike up at the mines. They've made the diner their base of operations. Huh, good for them. It's about time something like this happened. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing. I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize, and I can't say I have. I've been a little preoccupied. This is great for business. These fellas can have as much free coffee as they can drink if they keep piling in like this. Do you need any help? No, Sal and I can handle this. One of your friends going missing's more important than a busy shift. The miners didn't even notice you entered the diner. Instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. I guess the shift schedules are pretty brutal, and I'd like more vacation days. I'd love to be able to see my family around the holidays, and better health benefits would be amazing. But what if she decides to fire all of us? You're only a year or so into the work, and trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you figure you can weather it till you find something better. A paycheck's a paycheck. Next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can never save enough to get the hell out. But we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. I can't get fired. And the company housing, that makes a big difference for me. Right, the company housing. How generous of Tabitha to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had maintenance done in decades, taking a big chunk right out of your paycheck that sure as shit ain't going towards property tax and upkeep alone. The company housing that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. We have numbers on our side, Harrison. After what happened up there the other night, damn near everyone is joining the picket line. She can't afford to lose us all. We have the power here, so long as we're united. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring at you in unison. The YouTuber? No, we ain't seen her. As you can see, we've got a lot going on today. We'd appreciate you if you didn't butt in. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. Weigh in on Harrison's. Don't let them pressure you, Harrison. What do you want to do, Harrison? I don't know. This ain't your business, and those sorts of questions are exactly what someone trying to break a strike would be asking. Come on now, I don't think Zen was trying to break your strike. And how would you know that? This person's a stranger and a Scarlet. Hold your horses there, Zax. I don't care if y'all stand for a good cause. I don't even care how much bacon and eggs you've bought. If you start a fight in my establishment, you're out. Let's handle this like civil adults. You heard the lady. Don't get involved or we'll all have to take this outside. Sorry, fellas, we won't bother you. We'll make ourselves scarce. I guess we should get going. There's nothing there for us. You turn and leave the diner, Avery and Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. We should go to the mines. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin since they're friends. You don't see it? Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, classic dog and cat situation. Come on, I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside of Scarlet Mines. A wall of bodies, picket signs, and megaphones in hand forms a human barricade around the entrance to the Scarlet Mines. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this. Don't worry, I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple days a week. They'll be chill. Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Look out, fellas. That's the boss's cousin, and Zach said these kids were just down at the diner acting suspicious. Don't engage. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners collectively ignore you. Look, I know you have a well-deserved bone to pick with the Scarlets, but Stella doesn't have anything to do with the strike. Have you seen her or not? The YouTuber? She's the one on all the banned property posters, right? We haven't seen her, and we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by. We'll make sure to keep an eye out. Can't say we'll be much help, though. We'll just be standing around here for the foreseeable future. Any word about those kids stuck in the mine? We've heard voices, so we know they're alive. Now we just have to get them out. They're alive? That's amazing. They must be so scared down there. We've got a team working in shifts to reach them as fast as we can. We may be striking, but that just means we're not making the boss any money. Not that we won't do everything we can for the kids who need us. That's nice. Why are the cops here? Miss Scarlet requests to be supervised the situation. The mine's the source of a lot of jobs in town, so she just wants to make sure nobody did anything hasty while expressing their concerns. That's a polite way of saying that they're here to intimidate us. A little reminder from the boss that she owns more than just the coal mines. Simmer down. Nobody's here to intimidate anyone, but the Scarlet Mines are private property. Miss Scarlet has every right to request some oversight during a tense situation. There's a lot more of us than there are of you. I just need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross a picket? You don't have to literally cross the picket line to get inside. There's always that hole Rosalina used to sneak in the other day. I could sneak in. I could just call Tabitha. You pull out your phone and dial your cousin. Ugh, hello? What is it? You're not gonna get about to get eaten by the Babadook or something weird like that, right? Stella is missing. Have you seen her? She's missing? Tabitha is quiet for a moment. I'm sure she'll turn up, but I'll see if I can get a hold of her. Don't think looking for my missing acquaintance gives you a pass to do anything dangerous. You're forbidden from doing risky things, even for what you might think is a good reason. I'm hanging up now. Bye. She hangs up the phone. That doesn't sound like she knows where Stella is. Come on, let's go. We can figure out our next move when we get back to town. Where to next? I mean, the cops were at the mine site. Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you've met them, right? Do you think it's worth the trouble? As unhelpful as we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all of our bases. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tininess speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find the worried Beau standing between you and the officer behind the desk. Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Deputy Franklin, sir. She was going to be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to our family. The Scarlet Hollow police are spread pretty thin at the moment, young man. Any property disputes will have to wait, if indeed there is a dispute to be had. Are you sure it wasn't some animal that took your vegetable? Sir, you know Mr. Tremaine thinks the land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something you can do about it? I'll just interrupt. Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. A missing person? Apologies, Mr. Calloway, but I'm gonna have to handle this first. Deputy Franklin pulls out a few forms from the front desk and holds them out. If one of you could fill this out, please. I can take care of that. Thank you so much for taking this seriously, Mike. I know Stella has a tendency to go on hiking trips, but this feels different. She can't be in her right mind going back out into the woods after what happened to my daddy. Thanks for taking this seriously. I take everything seriously. Now, is there anything else I can help you with? Beau, did you manage to find your dad? Beau's stoic expression breaks for a moment. You can almost see tears forming around his eyes. He blinks them away. Yeah, I found him. I gathered what there was to gather. We're giving him a proper burial in his family plot. It's been tough trying to dig the hole while the farm is crawling with those hairless things, but it needs to get done. Do you think they'll go back to where they came from soon? Mama and me have tried to fight them back the best we can, but it seems like there's more every minute. I'm sure they'll leave soon, buddy. I hope you're right, but I can't stop feeling like something even worse is about to happen. Things have been getting weird around Scarlet Hollow lately, and if the past couple nights are any indication, it's only going to get weirder. My mom did say the ditchlings are supposed to be some horrible omen, but that doesn't mean it's true. For all we know, the weird stuff is behind us, and those creepy little things will crawl back to wherever they came from, and Scarlet Hollow will go back to normal. But I guess it doesn't hurt to plan for the worst. I'll do my part. I'll take out as many of those nasty little creatures as I can. I hope it helps. Hey, I remember you from yesterday. You're the mayor's security guy. We also met on Monday. I'm a man of many hats, and all of them give me authority over you, so you best watch yourself. Dang. Okay. What's all this about a pumpkin? Julius Tremaine stole Big Betty, and I'm trying to get the police to talk to him. And I've been telling Mr. Calloway that there's no way to prove who the vegetable in question belonged to. If there's no documentation, it's your word against his. The Calloways and the Tremaines had been at this for a long time. Some feud from over a century ago split the families, and they've been at it ever since. What makes you think Julius stole it? He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He's never been good about the property line, same as every Tremaine that came before him. We get our fair share of calls from Mr. Tremaine as well. Not that I'm at liberty to discuss confidential police information. I was hoping we get a reprieve from his nonsense after what happened to Daddy, but it doesn't look like he's willing to give us any time to grieve. You know, Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. I didn't know Julius ever talked to anybody. Talk is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding. Why is this pumpkin so valuable? She was going to get us the blue ribbon. Daddy said she was near 2,000 pounds. We were supposed to be at the state fair by now, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen this year. And Mr. Tremaine ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he's done, just hold up like the coward he is. At the very least, he could give me back some seeds from what's left of her, or I can try again next year. She was an important pumpkin to our family. You know, I haven't seen him since Tuesday. He's usually in the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning Joe. So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. If he ain't the thief, then who stole our pumpkin? Beats me. I just don't think folks should be so quick to jump to conclusions. How do you even move a 2,000-pound pumpkin? I don't know how he did it, but he did it. It could have easily been a bear or a mountain lion, any large animal. Weren't no bear, we're hunting folks. We know the signs. This is a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He just knew what to do to hurt our family. I'm sorry for everything that's happened, Bo. I appreciate that, thank you. I'm trying not to let it get to me. Gotta be strong for Mama now that it's just the two of us. You know, Mike, it sounds like Bo has a real case here. It's not just two neighbors getting angry at each other. Property's been stolen. Couldn't you get involved on his behalf just this once, after everything he's been through? This isn't the first time there's been a theft between the Calloways and Tremaines. We've heard it all. We know exactly how it'll play out. Trust the police to do the policing, ma'am. Yeah. First he doesn't look for the body, and now he won't help with the pumpkin. What would it take for the cops to get involved? Why, are you looking to escalate the situation? None of us are planning on doing any escalating. We're just asking questions. Good, let's keep it that way. I promise I won't do nothing bad, Mr. Deputy, sir. You know, even if Julius didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check. Look, kid, I'd love to help, but the sheriff has a standing order to not step foot on the Tremaine homestead. The man loves his booby traps. That's never stopped me. I don't make the rules. You have to take it up with Sheriff Hugby. If I may, sir, ain't that a what? If I may, sir, ain't that a bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave. This isn't about courage, Mr. Calloway. This is about public safety, and it's about the sheriff's judgment and authority outweighing my own. Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along and make sure nobody gets hurt. Look, I'll pass it on when he gets back, but he has his hands full right now. I can't make any promises. Let's just get going. Kanika hands the completed report back to Deputy Franklin. Thank you, ma'am. I'll get this filed right away. Good luck out there. I hope Miss Richmond is all right and you'll find her soon. We'll be on our way. Best keep your nose clean out there, Zen. Try to stay out of trouble. Well, at least we filed a report. Still, I guess finding Stella is going to be mostly up to us. We've got to find out what's been going on with Julius, too. He's been missing from the diner for a few days. It's weird. He usually comes in every single day. Maybe he's preoccupied with ditchlings. I just hope he's okay. One problem at a time. Yeah, where to next? Before you can say anything, you're interrupted by Kanika's phone buzzing. Oh my god, my mom's calling me. When's she gonna learn to text? Give me a second. Hey, what's up? No, still no sign of her. We were gonna keep looking a while longer. I'm really feeling okay. I'm not. You're right. Now that you mention it, I do feel kind of tired. I shouldn't push myself. I'll come home. She has a point. I'm not feeling well right now. I've got to get back to the general store. Maybe some tea could help. Aside from briefly mentioning it, Kanika hasn't seemed that sick at all. At least, not until right now. I didn't realize you were that sick. This really crept up on me. I was doing fine until... Kanika starts to sway, losing her balance on her legs. I must have been running on adrenaline. Oh no. She stumbles, bumping into you before regaining her balance. Sorry. I think I just need some help getting home. I'll have some tea and maybe a lie down, and we can get back to looking for Stella. Yeah, it shouldn't take us long to get back. Come on, Zen. Let's get moving before she passes out. Thanks, and sorry. This is embarrassing. Don't mention it. It was kind of weird. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly, and you and Avery bring Kanika inside. Oh dear, Kanika, you poor thing. This is why you're supposed to stay in bed today. If you keep running around like this, it's going to take you so much longer to recover. Thank you both for getting her home. Hope you're feeling better after last night's fiasco. Hi, Mom. Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. And Zen, once she's all situated, I believe I owe you a chat. Hopefully we'll be able to start making sense of your visions. Wait, if you're talking mystery-related stuff, I should be there. Sweetie, you've done enough today, and you never like when I do tea readings anyway. I'm sure Zen can catch you up once you're feeling better. Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Kanika heads towards the stairs and disappears without saying another word. You couldn't help but notice something stiff and quiet in her demeanor as she obeyed her mother's stern command. There's something off here. It's as if Kanika's spirit dimmed at Sybil's words. Yeah, after Sybil called her, she immediately was like, nope, don't feel good. And I'm sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Zen and I could do a reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner. Oh, you're right. I've totally left her on her own today. Fine by me. I wouldn't want to mess with your tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Oh, but before you go, I did want to ask. Are you a witch? As flattered as I am that you think I'm that magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies. Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'll be cool about it. I'll leave y'all to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Zen. Avery places a hand on your shoulder. I'll miss you, but duty calls. They make their way out of the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner. Shall we? Sybil motions toward the tea room. So, you are a witch. You're just not gonna let that go, are you? I figured that continuing to deny it wasn't gonna work on you. It's not something I want just anyone knowing, though, so please, keep it between us. She gives you a mischievous smile. Kanika didn't seem like herself just then. You're right. She hasn't been feeling exactly herself the past few days. All the stress she's been under, plus that cold of hers. But I'm sure it'll clear up soon. She just needs to take it easy, drink some tea, and not go running all over town until she feels better. I'm allergic to tea! Run away. Ooh, I can ignore Sybil? I'll just follow Sybil, I guess. That's crazy. Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. Be crazy plot twist if she was controlling the whole town with her tea. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here. Only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright glow lights over the plant in the corner. Give me one moment. Alright, back to the story. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy with an undercurrent of decaying earth. This is a special blend. It should help clarify some of the visions you've been getting. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? How did you wind— Oh, I sipped my tea. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthiness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal, and you find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. There's something you don't like about the feeling. It's too soothing. You don't doubt that there's something magical at work in this blend. How'd you end up in Scarlet Hollow? Oh, my family's been here in these hills for a long time. That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine. The other day you promised to tell me, what is it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth? I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age differences might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother, Edwardine, which is to say she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. Oh, Pearl Ann and my mom were twins. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Do they even exist? I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been a Stewart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenaged fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it. What with skipping town and all. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born into wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it's stuck in my mind. It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The youngest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. I need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture. You close your eyes and take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. The tea is gone before you know it, the small cup empty, save for what's left of rehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Oh good, glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that could fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure, but we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. Ooh. I'd like to see. I'm sure it wouldn't make much sense to most people. It'll probably just look like a confusing mess of old leaves, but you're free to take a look. You take the cup, staring down at it. It's just leaves. There's no pattern, nothing swimming together in the dregs of your tea to give you any warnings or premonitions. After a long moment, Sybil takes the cup back from you. I hope that settled your curiosity. Don't worry if you couldn't make sense of it. It takes years to learn this sort of thing, even for someone with your propensities. She winks, conspiratorially. Who would be somebody near me? How do I know you're not the cat? I suppose you don't, though I'd like to think the cat wouldn't exactly warn you about itself. Still, you can't rule anyone out, even the old woman with a tea obsession. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just to be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out. Piece together what you can from your visions and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. Interesting. I think I felt another in the clinic. That's good. If you can find your way inside and uncover another stone that could give you a leg up on your adversary. You'll just have to be careful to avoid the doctor. Something tells me she won't take too kindly to you sniffing around her clinic. If I recall correctly, there's a hill that'll take you nearly all the way to the second story, and she never locks any of the doors up there. Just in case that's helpful information. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. Thanks. I'll let you know if I find anything. Glad to hear it. I hope all goes well and I wish you luck. Hopefully you won't need it. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough. Who could it be? Sybil closes the door to the tea room, the bell of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Sybil let's talk to Miles. See any weird rocks in your town? Yeah, you. He smirks. Clearly, this was very sick burn, and you should feel bested by his wit. So, Kanika has a cold, huh? That's what she says. She's just trying to get out of work again. Like I didn't have anything better to do all week while she sits in her room watching anime. Says the guy in Goku pants. Everybody knows Dragon Ball is good anime. She watches the trashy shit. Ghosts are real. Just thought you should know. Yeah, I know. I've seen tons of videos of ghosts doing stuff on the internet. I'm not 12. Is your mom a witch? Wouldn't you like to know? Can I trust her? Duh. My mom is like the nicest lady ever. Let's check on Kanika. You're not going anywhere before checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just going to lie down for a while. I'm going to the clinic. I was hoping you would join me. Oh, hey. I was hoping to be able to check in with Reese sometime today. I want to ask if he knows anything about Stella and, make sure he's okay after what happened at dinner. Yeah, screw this. Why didn't I even listen to my mom in the first place? I don't need to sit around in my room just because she said to. Do you want to come in for a sec while I get ready? You hear frantic crumpling and clinking and shuffling as she tidies her room. Okay, come on in. Kanika's room is the sort of place that's stuck between the past and the present. Faded stickers from her childhood line her bookshelf, and boxes of packed belongings sit in the corners of her room. The terranium on her desk catches your eye. To anyone else, it might seem empty, but you easily spot the creature lurking within. I don't usually have people over. Don't judge me too harshly for the state of the place. I see you have a stick bug. Ah, that's Rick the stick. He keeps me company when I'm at my desk. You should see him when he loosens up and starts clambering around. He's a lot of fun. For a bug, I know that's not everyone's thing. Packing for something? You motion to the stack of cardboard boxes. That's all my stuff from college I never really unpacked. It seemed like a waste to unload everything. It's not like I'll be staying here long term, so I'll just have to pack up again eventually. I guess I did move back over a year ago, so these boxes have just been sitting there unopened for a long time. But any day now, I'll load them back into the van and get out of town. Any day now. We still have to find Stella, and I'm not going anywhere without you. Let's get out of here and see what we can find at the clinic. Oh no, you make your way back out into the hallway. Oh my god, this is creepy. But before you make it to the stairs, the light turns on, startling both of you. I thought you were gonna get some rest, Kanika. You should really get back to bed or this cold of yours will only get worse. But I still have a lot of energy. I don't feel like sitting around. I don't think I need to. Of course you do. I know you best, and you just haven't been yourself these past few days. All this running around has been detriment to your health. Miles and I want to see you healthy. You hold this family together. You shouldn't get between a mother and her daughter. Sybil knows what's best here, and Kanika is more than capable of speaking for herself. Why are you making her confront her mother? You barely know Kanika, and yet you're trying to drive a wedge between her and her family. Those thoughts aren't yours. Clear your head. Something isn't right here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, I don't want to call her a hag. Let's just go, Kanika. You try to guide Kanika towards the stairs, but it's like she's rooted to the floor. Kanika sighs. I'm sorry, Mom. I know I've been neglecting the general store, and I let Miles run off the other day. That was so irresponsible of me. That's all right, Kanika. He could have gotten hurt, but he didn't, and it seems like you learned a valuable lesson from that experience. Now let's get you to bed. You just need another day to recover. Then you can get back to all this town mystery business. Zen, you'll be fine without her until tomorrow. My mom is right, Zen. You go on without me. See you later, okay? Before you can utter another word, Kanika returns to her room. Sybil's eyes carefully watch you as you leave and make your way back to Main Street alone. Weird. Make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. It isn't long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, its secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed to your ribcage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. You can see the hills Sybil was talking about, wrapped around the back of the old hospital like a stone blanket. It should take you directly up to the second floor and the unlocked doors of the terrace. Okay, so do I trust Sybil and make my way up the hill? Or do I just go in through the clinic doors? There's ditchlings here near Reese's window. And here, with the raccoon. I'm gonna knock on Reese's window. You cautiously approach the house, kneeling next to the low basement window of Reese's room. You knock. There's no one in there. Reese must be somewhere else. I don't think I trust Sybil anymore. I'll just go in through the clinic door. Graveyards, abandoned buildings, old tunnels, you've been in all sorts of strange and unusual places without incident, and for some reason tonight, Dr. Kelly's clinic feels no different. You haphazardly make your way up the wooden stairs to the clinic's wraparound porch, taking steps in strange patterns. To an outside observer, you might appear to be drunk, but there's an unconscious method to your conscious madness, though even you would be hard-pressed to describe it. But there's no creak or moan of ancient wood as you make your way to the door. Silence. You push the door open slowly and slip in. You can see the doc at the desk in some room down the hall. She hasn't noticed you. You shut the door silently, watching her closely. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You're here now and it knows you're here, and you know exactly what it is. Another stone carving, eager to show you its secrets. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar as if inviting you to enter. What? The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Zen? What are you doing in the morgue? Oh god, I thought he was dead. You haven't seen Stella, have you? She's been missing since last night. I haven't. Did you think you'd find her in the morgue? His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Hey, are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder for a moment. The thing on the other side of the blank white wall loosens its pull on you. You kind of look possessed for a second there. You good? Make him understand. Use your words. Don't let this fervor consume you. Be present in the moment. You inhale deeply and take in your surroundings. You can't help but notice that one of the body storage drawers is labeled Pearl and Scarlet. Do I tell him? It said to use my words. The mines had a stone carving the other night, and so did Oscar's house yesterday. They've been giving me visions, and I can sense one on the other side of this wall. I need to see it. Reese glances back at the wall. You're really serious, aren't you? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I just need to get the doc out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. An axe? Get the doc out of our hair? Yeah, if I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time it's true, anyway. How'd you learn that little trick? When you're a teenager whose doctor mom won't leave you alone for 2 seconds, you learn how to make it happen. Thanks for understanding. Don't mention it. If there's anything I can do to actually be useful, I'm happy to help. Be right back. He strides past you, his long legs moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with the uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing down walls. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I just picked some up. I've got an errand to run on Main Street anyway. I'll go pick up some orange juice and some ginger ale, too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. No problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, then the front door opening and closing. It worked. The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and unveil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would be keeping it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doctor's office first. You make your way to the doorway of her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of paper and cabinets of medicinal supplies. But something on the desk catches your eye, some sort of records, with your family's name on them. Reese stops in the doorway, turning to watch you leaf through the documents. Find something interesting? They're your family's death certificates. Pearl Ann, cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Tabitha's middle name is Chrysanthemum? Wonder who cursed her with that mouthful. I'm definitely going to make fun of her for that later. Edwardine, born April 9, 1913, died February 12, 2003, aged 89, cause of death, heart failure, signed by her granddaughter Pearl Ann Scarlet. Pretty normal, almost made it to 90, died of normal old person illness. Enoch Scarlet, born September 9, 1887, died August 20, 1957. 69, cause of death, fall from cliff. This one has the coroner's report attached. Organs sustained impact injuries, lacerations to the neck and body consistent with fall from great height. Whoa, an actual autopsy report. Looks ancient. You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite familiar. Theodore Scarlet, cause of death, Christian mind collapse, body not recovered, signed by his brother Enoch. Joseph Scarlet, born August 20th, died June 6th. Both killed at Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Edwardine's brothers. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy, Andrew Charles Scarlet, delivered April 3rd, 1945, stillbirth, mother Edwardine. Cause of death, complications during birth, no doctor present, home burial. Alexandra Scarlet, age 9, missing, presumed dead, signed by mother Edwardine. Alexandra, the owner of the doll, she went missing. Mary Bell Scarlet, age 17, cause of death, complications during childbirth, signed by her mother Edwardine. Wow, that's a lot of kids to outlive. Yeah, that's weird. Reese's eyes flick up to the doorway, and a second later you hear the sound of the front door handle being turned. His hand is on your shoulder before you even register what's happening. You're pushed back and out of view from the front door. Shit, I'm not supposed to be in here, we gotta hide. He hurries to the closet door, motioning you inside. You slip past him and squish yourself into what little space is available in the nearly full closet. Reese is close on your heels. You let him in. Together you listen as the doctor makes her way to some room deeper into the clinic. In the silence of the tiny closet, every breath seems too loud, as if you could expect Dr. Kelly to hear it from wherever she was across the house. We better wait a second just in case. Quietly wait for danger to pass. You take slow, shallow breaths as if she can hear you breathing from the other side of the building. But the footsteps soon return. Dr. Kelly makes her way back towards your hiding place, creaking floorboards broadcasting her location all the way to the hallway just outside your hiding spot. Much to your relief, she opens another door, leaving the main clinic. We're in the clear. We've probably only got a minute or two until she comes back, so let's make it count. The medical supply room is probably our best bet. If any other room in the clinic is likely to have a fire axe, it's probably the room full of chemicals. This way. He motions you down a hallway, slipping through the slightly ajar door of what you assume could be the supply room. Yes, there it is. Keys. Here we go. He rushes over to the cabinet that contains a bright red axe, pulling the glass door open. Your axe? A splash of brown catches your eye. There's a small sprig of what almost looks like furry berries, with a wide 8-pronged leaf still attached at the base. The end of the sprig is leaked sap onto the countertop. It's fresh. Oh, so the axe was used recently. Now we can... Reese stops mid-sentence as he notices you staring at the plant. He stoops to pick it up. Does she make her own medicine? He puts it down, but not before breaking off a berry and sliding it into his pocket. I don't think she's allowed to do that. She's not a pharmacist. This room is just for storing stuff she orders for patients from a pharmacist in Brevard. Why would she be making her own? Or you can answer the two of you hear something in the distance and turn to listen intently. That was the door from the house. Come on, if we hurry, we can get you back downstairs. I'll run interference. Go downstairs, quick. You can hear her approaching now, floorboards creaking in the hallway of the other side of the office. You follow Reese's instruction, once again staring down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge. But there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers, so if you hear some weird sounds, it's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all the industrial clanging you listen to. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in a refrigerator for corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll just change. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door close and the sound of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. I should warn you, something spooky might happen when we break down that wall. Reese smiles. Good. Feel like I've been missing out lately. Stop asking questions. It's time to see what's on the other side of that wall. Wall now, yes? Have at it. I can't believe we're tearing down her wall. You approach the far end of the morgue, axe practically singing through the air as you strike the wall. The first cut offers a surprising amount of resistance, then there is some structure behind it, some wood frame holding it in place, trying to stand between you and what waits for you on the other side. You stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire your effort. Holy shit. The splintered edges frames a dark passage seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from a forgotten place into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back here. Thick, stale air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthly mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room, beyond comes an even stronger compulsion. You step forward. You climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. Someone doesn't want us to find these carvings. Why is this place hidden away? A lot of awful stuff happened at this hospital. Maybe people just felt the need to bury these memories. Or maybe a pipe burst or something. I don't know. You step forward into the unknown. You don't bother to retrieve the axe. The final wall concealing the carving is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduce the sawdust. You tear into it. Yeah, it's my first playthrough. Ooh, we found one. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They'd said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. Those doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research and I found us an alternative. You won't have to worry about anything from here on out, I promise. I want to talk to the witch. A witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today and everything will be resolved by this time next week. That's right, Doctor. At this point, I think it's safe to say his body was never recovered. Whoever it was who claimed to be Theodore, it wasn't him. Wasn't even paralyzed, as it turns out. Just some gifter trying to make advantage of the tragedy. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you'd slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving, and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? How did I get here? I carried you. How though? How did he carry me? What? It wasn't super far or anything. I just picked you up and carried you. I might be sick a lot, but doesn't mean I made of paper. I can still do things normal people can do. I'm sure I'll pay for it later, but I didn't want you to have to wake up in that musty hallway or the morgue. So far the game is really interesting, and I have no idea where the story is going to go. I had a vision. Like a hallucination? I have those sometimes too. Used to have them a lot as a teen. Always just weird little things. Like my hands would look wrong, or my neck would seem too long, or the room would feel smaller. At least one of those death records is murky. I don't think Teddy died in the mine collapse. My family has secrets. That's a weird thing to cover up, but it's not too surprising. An old family like that usually has at least a few secrets, but hopefully that's all ancient history. It's not like it's easy to cover up deaths these days, right? Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. So, what now? You might be stuck down here for a little bit. The doc is on the warpath up there. I refuse to take my medicine and she's not happy about it. But after I looked this up, there's no way I was going to take anything she gives me. She's been poisoning me for years. Oh no. I went ahead and blocked my door so she can't get down here. Now we just have to wait her out. You blocked your door? Of course I did. Put a chair in front of it. It's never failed me before. We don't need her coming down here to finish me off or whatever it is she might do now that I know her treatment plan has been all these years. Good. Gives us time to figure out a game plan. Exactly. I think we should treat her like a legitimate threat. I have these weird memories. I always assumed they were dreams or hallucinations because they didn't fit the way I thought of her, but I think she used tranquilizers on me. Other times that I've gotten too unruly for her. I don't know how much of these memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the lengths she's willing to go to keep me under her control. We'll wait until she's asleep, then we can at least get out of the basement. We can figure out what to do from there. But why would your mom poison you? I don't know. But the internet says this is castor bean. It's used to make ricin, a super deadly poison that causes some of my exact symptoms. And death, usually. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on her. Either way, I don't think I've ever had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. I don't think I want to say the top ones. Yeah, the game's getting pretty bad. But I mean, we already had a feeling that his mom was doing something like this to him. But we also still don't know where Stella is. We need to get you out of here. Who knows what she'll do when she finds out what you know. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I've never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. One step at a time. Let's just start by weeding out your mom and getting out of here. You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror for the rest of my life. Well, see if we can wait her out. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always said was for burglars. Now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try to break them anyway. A distraction seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's the lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. Do we want to watch a movie? Just go with the flow. So if you've got some time to kill, we can always watch a movie. I'm really into horror movies, and I'm sure you could tell, and it's been so long since I've had somebody over to watch one with me. And I believe I owe you a showing of Shino-Chi Deathblood. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. I'm not a great judge of how other people will react to this sort of thing I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how it feels down here all the time. What with the grisly paintings, lack of lighting, cinder block walls, and of course the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, though. This is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings that then wind up tying back into the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I really find engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies with another person. Or talk to people, ever. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. Yeah, those paintings on the stairs is, like, definitely looks like Reese, and like he's just defeated. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. Something is changing inside of him. Oh god, something must have happened when I passed out, because there's no way he could have carried me. Reese, you feel different, like your whole personality is changing. Is everything okay? Everything is more than okay. I haven't felt this good I don't think I've ever felt this good. A man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sort of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people, and only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible. Cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's probably safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now, what his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. It's more than just something that's changing Reese, it's everything. There's a knock on the window. Zen, don't get any closer to that thing, it's time to go home. That voice, I know that voice. Is that who's been following you around? Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside, we're surrounded. Even when I get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. What do you mean? Wayne isn't gonna hurt you. He hasn't hurt anyone. Yes, he will. He's furious with me. Can't you hear it? But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Zen. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, paint bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, crawling up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. In a surge of violence, the change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off and Wayne along with it. Obviously I'm running for the stairs. You've seen enough to know you need to leave. You run up the stairs. The door is blocked by a chair. Then it's blocked by something else too. Try to tear through them. You toss the chair out of the way and do your best to tear through the paintings covering the door. It reforms and regenerates too quickly for you to claw your way through. Defeated, you turn back to the basement. The remainder of Reese's paintings await their artist's command. It's okay. Stay right there. I can take care of this. Then she won't be able to hurt anyone anymore. I'll be right back. Reese storms up the stairs, leaving you with his creations. Oh gosh. Oh. Do I follow Reese? Watch how it plays out? Try to warn Dr. Kelly? You make your way to the door that beckoned to you yesterday, all intrigue now washed away. You know where it leads, and you know what secrets the stone that lurked in the forgotten basement of the clinic had to share with you. Now the clinic holds a new horror. Somewhere beyond the narrow hallway leading from the house proper into the doctor's office, there is a monster preparing to do something unthinkable. You grasp the handle and turn. Duck! I'm just gonna duck. Just duck. No questions asked. I'm ducking. You do as she says, ducking out of the way. She shoots. The gun isn't very loud. There's only a pop as the projectile leaves the barrel, whizzing through the air. You turn to see a dart embedded in Reese's chest. He pulls the tranquilizer dart out from between his ribs, heaving heavy breaths as the drug courses through his system. You're going to have to try harder than that, you No, how did you? As if you could hope to stop me, you pathetic waste of flesh. Before Wayne takes another step down the stairs, paint flows out between cracks in the wood, Reese's panic pulling into a mob of furious creatures to hold his enemy in place. The artist darts away, but his creations continue their work in his absence. Dr. Kelly makes her escape down the hallway as Wayne is overcome, glued in place at the top of the stairs by stiffening globs of paint. I'll run after Dr. Kelly. You run forward, braving the onslaught of Reese's creations, dodging them as best you can as you try to see where Dr. Kelly went. The door in front of you is smothered in paint. Hey! Dr. Kelly's voice crackles out from some unseen speaker. You, Zen. I'm stuck in the safe room. I can't help you from here, but you can help the both of us. What the hell is your son, ma'am? I wish I knew. He was fine until he hit puberty. Everyone said raising a teen was going to be a bitch, but they don't know the half of it. I need you to get to the medical storage room. I'll give you further instructions when you're there. Yeah, it's getting wild. You turn back around and head to the medical storage room. At first I thought it was going to be like a werewolf, but now it's like leaning towards some devil thing, entity. I'm here. Great, now listen to me. I need you to use the black taped key to get into the cabinet and bring me the elephant tranquilizers. It's a bottle labeled carfentanil. Bear tranquilizers clearly aren't going to cut it anymore. An intercom system, huh, Doc? Good, you should hear this. Then you don't have to do anything she says. I'm not going to hurt anybody else, just her. If I don't, you and I both know she's just going to shoot me full of elephant tranquilizers. Did I hear that right? And shove me back down in that basement, or maybe someplace even worse. You keep killing me every day for the rest of my miserable existence. I feel amazing right now, better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me. I'm not going to let you kill someone, Reese. Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. Does she know those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me? Does she care? Trust me, Reese. I've always been careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you. Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom. If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance, and you decided to convince me I was dying instead of just letting me exist. Don't try to spin it like some kind of crime of passion now that the consequences are staring you in the face. Enough. Reese cries out in pain. Ah, what the hell did you do to my shoulder? You see from the briefest instant something coming out of Wayne's sleeve. Oh yeah, I see that. Just a flash of pale yellow, then it's gone, slithering back into Wayne's clothes. I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe until then. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head to the safe room. You do as she says. The tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. You make your way to the medical storage room and back to the hallway where the Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the mass of paint sealing it shut. Hurry, I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears managed to slip past her. Here it is, right here. She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor. It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. What's the game plan, both short term and long term? I pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. Then I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Then we all live happily ever after. Has that worked before? He's never known the exact nature of his condition before. Maybe it was a mistake to hide it from him. But I thought it meant he could feel like he had more freedom, not knowing that if he just stopped taking his pills, he could become big and pointy enough to kill me. I'm going to have to revoke some of those freedoms now. He's not going to like that, but I think he'll understand even if it takes time. I don't think he wants to hurt people. He just can't help what he is. Let's talk Reese. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead. I have nothing left to hide. When did you find out? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes and a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out at a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument and he changed right in front of me. It was nothing like what he is now, just a couple inches and some facial abnormalities, enough to be noticeable. I do have to say, I did notice that his nails were extremely long, but I thought it was just because he was just unkempt, like he didn't take care of himself. I was scared. He could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off or maybe hallucination. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easy. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. What is he? At first, I thought he was some kind of werewolf. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him, and if you've seen what he looks like, it's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess I'll have to remain a mystery. Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. What? I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sakes. Ooh, that's a good thought. The paintings on the stairs are fragments of his memories of himself changing. Yeah, totally. I kept having these weird dreams, almost like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were usually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams. But then all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and roughly 9 months later, Reese. The relationship between you seems so difficult. Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready, but he made me love being a mom. It's not like it was going to be sunshine and roses forever. No matter what, kids grow up and they change, sometimes for the worst. This is part of being a mom, too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't going to go around eating people. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst one by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. Why did you start poisoning him? Dr. Kelly sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was medicating his illness. It started when he was around 15. I've been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin, but his body kept adapting and his symptoms would come back, especially if we ever fought. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone ever found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it. I bet it's the witch. And I've been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision ever since. Who approached you and what did they say? Dr. Kelly gives you a long, hard look. I don't want to talk about that woman. But screw it. It might die tonight. Sure, I'll tell you. It was. And that's all I have to say about that. What happened? Did it, blink? How do you know he's dangerous? Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number 1. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. But every now and then we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine this happens anytime he gets frustrated with anybody. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot tall monster with a million teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area. Yeah, he's dangerous. What you're doing is difficult, but it's necessary. I'm glad that you see that. Makes me feel a little less cruel. It hasn't been easy doing all this to him, but I know it's for the best. For him and for everybody else. What is this room? Old X-ray room. Lead walls. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it could finally come in handy. While we're at it, are there any secrets that you're keeping? You have it all. You have no idea how relieved I am to finally say all that shit out loud. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room. Shit, this might be game time. Get those tranks ready. We have to get the store open before he crosses the hallway. Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. Oh my god, he's huge now. Wow. What is he? Is this what you were so afraid of? Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. Obviously, I'm going to give it to her. She feels horrible. Zen, I thought we were in this together. Thank God. Dr. Kelly sighs heavily, staring down at the warped figure of her son. I can drag him into the safe room on my own. I'll meet you at the front when I'm done. You return to the entrance of the clinic. Everything is quiet now. Only streaks of paint where Reese's minions had once roiled out of their cracks in the wood. I hope you understand that this needs to stay between us. I don't care how much you feel like you need to share what happened with just other people. The more people know about this, the more trouble it is for me and for him. I don't need any more well-intentioned escape plans. Can I come visit him? As long as you don't bring anyone else along, yes, that would probably be good for him. I can't promise he'll want to see you, or that he won't have some harsh words if he does, but I don't want him to be entirely isolated. Do you think you'll tell any of his friends on this? She heaves a sigh. I'll have to think about it. We'd run the risk of one of them trying to break him out, but he's stuck in a windowless room with no internet and no friends. That's a one-way ticket to insanity. Then I'd have an insane monster on my hands. Stella in particular would be a problem. That girl never knows how to mind her own business or follow other people's rules, and she would have absolutely no fear of what might happen if he was cut loose. Kanika, I might consider. She's got a bit of a bleeding heart and pretty inflexible morals, which could be a problem. On the other hand, I don't know how well she could keep a secret, and if Stella found out, that Kanika could probably be convinced to do a jailbreak, and then it'd all blow up in my face. You can probably tell I put a lot of thought into this. It's the same calculation I've been doing for years, debating whether or not I could be fully upfront with any of them instead of just pushing them away and hoping they didn't notice what was really going on. She sighs again. Maybe I'll get him a kitten or something, like they did for Coco the gorilla. Might as well give him a tire swing while I'm at it, some enrichment for his enclosure. I hate that I have to do this to him. There's a magic stone in your basement. Just thought you should know. Also, we busted a hole in the wall down there. Okay, thanks for the heads up, I guess. I feel so guilty. Join the club. But he was bound to figure it out sooner or later. I'm just glad there was an extra pair of hands around. It could have gone a lot worse. As much as I'd love to stand around chatting, I have to get to work. Gotta clean this place as best I can before tomorrow. And you should probably get home. It's dark. I'm sure your cousin is worried about you. Is she gonna let me hug her? You put your arms out for a hug. No offense, but I'm not a hugger. See you later, Zen. I tried. She firmly escorts you to the door. It closes behind you. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day. Crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Yeah, what happens if I don't give her the tranquilizers? I'm assuming he just kills his mom. And obviously I'm going to save Gretchen in episode 1. It's time to go home. He swallows her whole. I guess that makes sense. You don't get far before you're interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. Oh, Gretchen! She appears at the edge of the road, running as fast as her geriatric pug legs can carry her. Gretchen seems distressed. She whines as she stares up at you from the ground, eyes desperate, anxiously jumping back and forth and darting away when you try to lean down to her. Gretchen, where's Stella? Gretchen whimpers and starts trying to drag you towards the woods. You follow Gretchen. She nervously runs ahead of you the whole time, constantly looking back to make sure you're still there as she leads you into the dark woods. Before long, the trees thin and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined on one side by a sheer rock. And there, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. Oh, I bet that's where her parents had died. They said car crash, right? Gretchen runs up to her and sits in Stella's lap. Gretchen, you're back. Don't scare me like that again. You sit on the log beside her. Zen, how did you... Wait, did Gretchen come get you? Wow, she must think I'm dying or something. Yeah, Gretchen found me. She's a good girl. She really is. What is this place, Stella? Why are you here? Stella faces you for a moment, desperate eyes trying to force out words, a part of her thought she would never have to say out loud, and then she turns back to the road. This is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend in the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It had just rained and the sun was finally coming out. Oh no. Poor Stella. What? Is that her legs? Oh no, their heads. Because she was lying down, she was the only one that survived. Wow. Sorry, I know that's probably a bummer to talk about. It was awful, really messed me up for a while. I think I'm still messed up. There's whole years of my life after that accident that feel like they just never happened. Likely every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. At least it hasn't been like that for a while, thank God. I've never talked about this stuff before with anybody. Thanks for letting me in. Stella gently reaches over and takes your hand, her calloused palm fitting into yours. You squeeze her hand and her grip tightens. It's strong and comforting. You can tell she feels held, and so do you. The two of you stare out at the road. I think the accident is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see them again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. Then last night happened, and I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again or seeing them all messed up and dead, I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. Just because they weren't there, it doesn't mean they don't love you wherever they are. That's a nice thought. I've thought a lot about what might come after, whether they're somewhere else or if they just stopped existing. I guess we've seen at least some evidence of the afterlife. I hope that means that there's a good version too, where they're still on that long car ride listening to Dad's tapes with a place in the back seat for me when I eventually catch up to them. And then it won't matter that I never got to say goodbye. You let her words hang in the air. Stella nestles into you, her well-muscled shoulder relaxing against your body. You share each other's warmth as you both stare out at the quiet mountain road. Thanks for coming to find me, Zen. I know I must still sound miserable, but I feel lighter. Even though I didn't see what I was hoping to see, I still feel like something ended here tonight, something that should have ended a long time ago. She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her lap, tags jingling in the quiet night air. We should probably head back, right? I haven't slept in a day. Do I tell her? She hasn't slept in a day. She doesn't need to hear about it. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself, at least for now. I don't suppose I can ask you to walk me home. I see the little love stuff that I can do. Romance the people. Of course, lead the way. She smiles. She scoops Gretchen up under her arm, and then the three of you make your way back to the mountainside, returning to the sleeping Holler below. No, I'm not. I feel like if I knew I could romance the people in this game, I should have started it from the beginning. But I guess I didn't really know who the characters were. But this game always has some replayability. Do you want to come in? Tip, dialogue option marked romance. Ooh, here it is. We'll start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to, and we'll lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters. All romance? Alright, fine. I'll romance her. Stella ushers you inside, a barely contained grin threatening to split into an excited smile. Let me just go take a quick shower. I've been sitting outside for a day. I need some soap. I'll just take a minute, then we can get cozy. Ooh, she's blushing. She hurries off, leaving you with Gretchen in the living room. Aw, Gretchen. She curls up in her bed, clearly exhausted after a long day of worrying over Stella. But before she has the chance to fall asleep, a heavy knock startles her, and Gretchen growls. There's someone at the door. Who is it? You know who it is. Open the door, please, son. You summon the bravery to cross the room and open the door. Wayne cocks his head, the stained veil over his face fluttering in the slight breeze outside. The outside of his clothes are streaked with what you at first think might be gore, but you quickly realize is actually paint, and there are wide claw marks down his shirt. But he's still in one piece after his altercation with Reese. Gretchen is a pillow princess. She's so cute. What do you want? Oh, give me 1 second. Okay, I had to take a call. I won't keep you long. I know you have a warm bed and a warm body to keep you occupied tonight. Oh. But I wanted to give you a suggestion for tomorrow. You should take advantage of Tabitha's absence at the estate. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her around to stop you. Do a little exploring. You might be surprised at what you can find. He slowly steps back, shining eyes fixed on you as he disappears into the dark night beyond Stella's door. Gretchen growls escalate into barks. Calm down, Gretchen. Were you just talking to somebody, Zen? Wayne stopped by. He's still following you? Are you sure we're safe? You don't have to worry about him. I'm not so sure about that. He did just stop by my house at a very late hour while I was preoccupied. It's not super reassuring, but I'm too tired to care too much about it at this point. I just want to collapse in bed with you. You'll keep us safe, right, Gretch? Gretchen snarls, yapping fiercely. That's right, Gretchen. You're the most vicious little geriatric pug there is. Now let's go to bed before I pass out. Ooh, look at those eyes. Okay, Stella. Just give me a second to finish drying off. Stella disappears into her room for a brief moment, and then her door creaks back open. So, are you coming in? Oh, this has animal talking? Okay. All right. I'm sure that, yeah, I think this game has definitely a lot of replayability with like all the different characteristics that you can choose at the beginning. You walk by Stella and into her bedroom. She gently closes the door behind you. Oh, yes, you're right. You're right. Oh, that would be so fun to hear what Gretchen's thinking. Sorry I didn't clean up beforehand. You can think of it as getting the authentic Stella experience. She slips past you and lies on the bed, dressed in an oversized t-shirt. You're quick to follow. She's warm and still slightly damp from the shower, her skin fresh and flowery. She turns to look at you, smiling, dimples creasing at the edges of her mouth. You could kiss me if you wanted to. All right, I'll kiss her. You shift closer to her and close your eyes. The magnetic pull of anticipation rolls down your spine and across your skin, and for a moment that seems to last forever, you take in every detail of the world around you. The forested scent of her eucalyptus shampoo, and beneath it the slightest hint of campfire, the comforting heat of soft but calloused hands against your cheek, the thunder of your heart beating ever more quickly in unison. The tension rises and rises, a tone seemingly without peak. And then it breaks, and her lips touch yours. They're fresh and minty and soft, cool against yours, and guided by the gentleness of someone looking to hold on to the memory of tonight for a long, long time. And then she pulls you closer, tighter, and the two of you love yourselves in each other. Eventually, the two of you break away and open your eyes, gazing at each other from opposite sides of the pillow. She was the first person that was nice to me, so I'm glad we romanced her. You drift off together, limbs intertwined, exhausted and safe and comforted. Tomorrow may bring some new horror, or it might not, but whatever happens, you'll face it together. This is the end of episode 4. Wow. Okay, so very, very interesting here. We found out what was going on with Reese. We found Stella. There's something weird happening with Sybil and her control to... just her being able to control Kanika like that. Like, that's so strange. It's very important. Oh, okay. Let me save. Just like the recap, you mean? Slay the Princess. That's what you were saying. Their other game. Why does that sound familiar? I'll have to look that up. Okay, we'll do the recap. You open your eyes. It's a new day. But your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Big Betty wasn't just a pumpkin, Deputy Franklin, sir. She was going to be a prize winner. Raising her was the last thing me and my daddy did together. She's important to our family. The Scarlet Hollow police are spread pretty thin at the moment, young man. Any property disputes will have to wait, if indeed there is a dispute to be had. Are you sure it wasn't some animal that took your vegetable? So you know Mr. Tremaine thinks that land belongs to him. He probably thought Big Betty was his to take. He ain't coming to his door, so for all I know, he might be all the way to the state fair by now with our pumpkin. Ain't there something you can do about it? Oh no, I missed. Look to the right. Oh yeah, his shadow has a little hat on it. Is that what you're saying? Tulip made up some imaginary friends and keeps telling us that they want her to go out. Like the word of some fictional creature she made up is going to convince us it's a good idea for her to play it in somebody's old garage. Over here too. Look down at the alpacas. A ghost over here? Like Kanika is not real? Dun dun dun! So Wayne's here. Kanika is a shadow. Interesting. I definitely did not notice that before. I'd love to get the community to rally around a big cleanup. It's about time somebody got rid of all the junk. I wonder if it was like that before. Or did they just not notice it because I was reading? Yeah, I'll look at the journal. Right here. It was Thursday. Found out Stella disappeared, ran into Avery. Checked Stella's house for clues. She wasn't there, visited the church, didn't find Stella. Visited Oscar with Pixel. Visit the diner. Helped push Harrison to not join the strike. Went to the mines to look for Stella, where a small group of workers blocked the entrance. Oh, Monday. Okay, I'll go back to Monday. My boiled peanuts from a stranger. Found the possum. Went cryptid hunting with Stella. Witnessed Duke die in the woods and called police. Met Stella's friend. Oh. That's why with the recap, when it says I heard my phone buzz, but her name didn't show up. Ooh. Okay. Why did that actually give me chills? That's so cool. Thanks. Very, very interesting. So I think Sybil is up to something. Because why is she able to control Kanika like that? Very cool. I want to see if there's... I go up to Kanika's room, so I wonder if that shows in the recap. Sybil takes the cup. She's reading my tea leaves. Ah. Very cool. It completely skips the part where I go up to Kanika's room and Sybil is controlling her. Very interesting. Well, thanks. I'm so happy you pointed that out. I think I would have, like, noticed that they skipped the Kanika little thing of me going up to her room and me trying to take her with me to Reese's house. But I don't think I would have noticed that Kanika wasn't there. Very interesting. Reese is changing. I wonder if there's anything else I didn't notice. Isn't this what Wayne had coming out of his arm to break Reese's shoulder? Very cool. Yeah, he definitely looks like he would be able to eat Reese's mom. I feel like if I romanced Kanika, it would have been like a Sixth Sense kind of situation where I think she's real until like the very end. Romancing Stella. Tomorrow might bring a new horror. Very, very cool. Yeah, what are the romance options? I'm curious. I know I'm thinking Reese because it let us flirt with him. Avery, Stella, and Kanika. Did I get them all or am I missing somebody? I feel like those were just like the main people that I had interacted with. Maybe a miner? Like one of the miners working at the mine. But I figured I will leave the 5th episode of this journey for tomorrow. I will be streaming again tomorrow. I think they said that episode 5 was split into 2 parts, so that will be pretty cool. So the list of my romance options is Stella, Kanika, Reese, Oscar, Avery, romance Wayne. Interesting. And Dr. Kelly. Huh. Very cool. That makes me want to replay the game. The update was split into 2 parts. Oh, okay. I must have read that differently when I was looking at their updates. All right. Well, episode 5 will be tomorrow. And then I think that's the end of the game. So my goal with finishing games and using streaming to help me finish games is well underway. Thank you so much for all the comments, helping me get through this game and have some realizations. And thanks for watching. I will have this video uploaded to YouTube maybe later tonight, tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, or follow my YouTube and follow me if you haven't. But thank you so much. Have a good night.